Has a three-way trade that involves the New York Giants, Arizona Cardinals, and New England Patriots already been agreed upon that would land the Giants the number 3 overall pick? We're going to break down these rumors on today's show, but make sure you join us for our live coverage tonight, as this video is going out on Thursday, for day 1 of the NFL draft. Just a couple hours away, baby, for finding out what the Giants are going to do in the NFL draft. Subscribe, turn the notifications on, and join us tonight for the number 1 draft coverage on YouTube that focuses on the Giants. I feel pretty confident in saying this at this point. The Giants want Drake Maye. They do. They want him. And I think that they are going to exhaust every single option to get it done. But let's talk about a potential trade that may already be agreed upon. This post comes from BigBlueInteractive.com. If you've been a longtime Giants fan, you've heard of this site. It's awesome. It's pretty much Reddit for Giants fans. And Stars and Stripes said this. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's false. But this isn't the first time I've heard about this. And I've talked to people that said it's not the craziest idea. Quote, I'm going to read it, so give me some time. He says, came into some information recently and will try to share it exactly how it was shared to me. Was at a very large get-together up in North Jersey, and a guy I met is apparently a blood relative of someone high up in the front office. Multiple people at the party attested to this fact. A few drinks in, a bunch of us were talking Giants. We went inside, and after a few shots, he pulled me and my friends aside as we were talking Giants and the draft with him the most knowledgeably and intently. Here's how he laid it out as best as I remember. Parameters between the Cardinals, Giants, and Patriots have been agreed to for a while if the draft goes chalk in the top 2, which means Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels go in the top 2. Though front office opinions on Maye vary quite a bit, enough teams feel Drake Maye is either a top 2 or 3 quarterback in this draft and would be QB1 in most drafts. The Patriots boxed out on the guys they have the highest grade on, lukewarm on Drake Maye, but do like McCarthy quite a bit. I asked about all the recent rumors saying they favor Maye, and he replied if they truly loved Maye, you wouldn't hear all this open for business proclamations from the organization, period. Are Chicago and Washington doing this? Went on to say it's very true that both Minnesota and the Giants have been negotiating with the Patriots most heavily, and the target is Drake Maye. All other media stuff is just white noise. Both teams have Maye as significantly higher than any other QB not named Daniels or Williams. The Giants have the high hand, though, once it became clear that they can deliver what the Patriots want most, and that would also entail getting the Arizona Cardinals involved. The Cardinals want the blue chip wide receiver. The Patriots want McCarthy most. The Patriots get some jingle, and McCarthy is how he put it. Also said the Patriots didn't throw their hat in the ring for a near 9-digit deal with Calvin Ridley in free agency to pair him with Jacoby Brissett. He said the Cardinals are loaded, but recognize they can get essentially free picks and still end up with the blue chip after the quarterback slot thins out. He also said that the Brian Burns deal way back was consummated clearly, knowing what the Patriots wanted most, and was explained as when QB is a need for your team, it takes precedent over everything, including pass rusher. Ultimately said they have parameters as a 3-way trade as well as a double trade up. Not sure which way they go, as each permutation is slightly different. Might be a surprise player included going to the Patriots. But this isn't the only place that's talking about them. And these aren't the only 2 spots that I have heard talking about this. This was posted on the Big Blue United New York Giants page on Facebook. Here's the latest rumor, which has teeth. 3-way trade between the Giants, Patriots, and Cardinals. Giants and Vikings both want Drake Maye. Patriots are open for business because they like J.J. McCarthy better, so they don't want to drop to number 11. Not even number 6. That's where the Cardinals come in. Patriots and Giants trade, then Cardinals and Patriots trade. Giants are number 3 in draft Maye, Patriots at 4 in draft McCarthy, and Cardinals are at 6 in draft Harrison Jr. or Malik Nabers. The Vikings get boxed out altogether. You heard it here first. I'm going to keep this in the rumor category. This is a rumor. It is smokescreen season. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's false. But it is my job to talk about the latest rumors, and I thought this one was very, very interesting. So this is what it would look like. Giants get number 3. Patriots get number 6. Cardinals then trade down to 6, and the Patriots move up to number 4. And then the Giants get Drake Maye, which would be a home run pick for me. That's my number 1 dream scenario for this draft. The Patriots draft J.J. McCarthy, and the Arizona Cardinals get Marvin Harrison Jr. and Malik Nabers. Again, not saying it's true, not saying it's false, but it would be crazy. It would be crazy. It really, really wouldn't. Like, when you boil it down to that, what does each team need? What does each team get? It makes a lot of sense, right? I don't know what the draft pick compensation would be. I would probably guarantee the Giants are giving up a future first-round pick. If they're not, we're gonna be shotgunning beers all night long on the stream. Ultimately, I'll believe it when I see it. I think that a 3-team trade in the NFL is kind of crazy. A double trade-up is even worse. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's false. It's my job to talk about it. If you remember our hard hat system, I'd give this 1 hard hat. Small shred of truth. Small shred of truth because it lines up. I don't know what we would trade. But I've gotten to this point where I'm at right now, and I'm ready to risk it all for Drake Maye. I really am. My eyes don't lie. I've watched every throw he has made in his college career multiple times. I've watched every throw that McCarthy has made multiple times. And Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams and Michael Penix and Bo Nix. Drake Maye's QB2 for me. I believe he's a franchise elevator. I think he's a franchise changer. I think he's a franchise quarterback. And you do whatever it takes to get that guy on your football team. Do you want Drake Maye, though? I know there's a lot of split opinions on if Maye is the one everybody wants, if Maye isn't the quarterback everybody wants. Do you want Drake Maye on the Giants? Type Y for yes. Type M for no. Not only do I love the prospect of Drake Maye, the strengths he has, the weaknesses I think are very fixable as well. They don't concern me. Drake Maye is the perfect quarterback for Brian Daboll. I'm not saying he's Josh Allen 2.0, but a lot of the worries and a lot of the weaknesses that Allen had, Maye possesses. And Daboll helped him fix that. And a lot of the strengths that Josh Allen has, Drake Maye has as well. The tape over the last 2 years shows me that he could be an elite quarterback in this league. He was better in 2022 and 2023, but I thought the talent in the team was also better, and I think that means something. His offensive line this year was horrendous. It was absolutely awful, and it's extremely hard to operate as a quarterback when you consistently are on the move and you have to worry about the bullets flying around him. I'm a huge fan of Maye. He can make every single throw. He can operate a drop-back offense from within the pocket. He's also an underrated athlete when it comes to being a playmaker. He can get out of the pocket. He can attack the field down. He can attack downfield as well. But my favorite thing about his game is that the way that he had success in college football translates to the big leagues. You look at his spray chart from 2023. The blue line is the line of scrimmage, and then it's 10 yards and 20 yards. When targeting in the middle of the field from 0 to 10 yards, he completed 75 of his 90 passes. Elite. When he's targeting the middle of the field from 10 yards to 19 yards, he completes 28 of 48 passes. Elite. And when he targets the middle of the field, 20-plus yards from the line of scrimmage, he was 19 of 32. The way that he attacks the middle of the field, the way he has success in between the hashes and in between the numbers is going to translate. And that's how you win in the NFL. You have to make plays in the middle of the football field. And he does that better than anyone else in this draft class. 6'4", 230 pounds, 21 years old. He's not even scratching the surface of the type of player that he can be. But Marshall, he went to a basketball school. But Marshall, he plays like Daniel Jones. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Just because they're tall and they're white and they've got a weird-looking face sometimes and they went to an ACC basketball school, him and frickin' Daniel Jones could not be more different. I would love to have Drake Maye as my quarterback. And I will continue to say this, as I have said for months. You do whatever it takes to draft a franchise quarterback. I have declared that I think Drake Maye will be that guy. If Joe Schoen has done it, he should do whatever it takes, because you don't win at the highest level in this league consistently unless you got a dude back there. And the Giants haven't had a dude since number 10 got benched for Geno Smith. But I'll say this. You better be right. You better be right. The consequences for missing on this pick are a hell of a lot higher for you, Joe Schoen, than me. You'll never be an NFL GM again if you give Daniel Jones $100 million, cut him in 2 years, and you miss on Drake Maye. But scared money don't make money. If you are right, and Drake Maye is who I think he is and who you think he is, which is a franchise quarterback and a guy that can win a Lombardi trophy, you and him will both be going into the Ring of Honor. And you might just be going to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Coming up next, Jordan Renan on his podcast listed draft targets at running back and tight end that the Giants have their focus on. That's around the corner right now, though. I got to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, GameTime, the #1 ticketing app in the game. Download the GameTime app, use the promo code ChatSports, all one word, and save $20 off. $20 off on your first purchase. It's the best seats for the lowest prices guaranteed. Prices drop as the events get closer. So if you're a little bit of a procrastinator like me and you don't want to spend the money until you absolutely have to, or you just don't know if you're going to be available, you could do it with GameTime, because you're never going to have to pay more than anybody else, because it's the lowest price guaranteed. You can go to a Yankees game this summer if you want to. You can catch the Knicks in the playoffs. You can go to a concert. You can go to a theater event. You can go to a comedy show, and so much more. I've used GameTime a handful of times, and every time I have been thrilled and pleased with the way that it has worked out for me. Best seats, lowest prices guaranteed. Download the GameTime app, use that promo code ChatSports, and save $20 off. And because I love and care about you so much, I'll make sure all that information is clickable down in the comments and description. All righty, let's close it out as we're a couple hours away from the NFL draft. We're going to be talking about a little bit of day 2 and day 3 here. I know, boring, but I thought what Jordan Renan said was very interesting, which is round 3 to round 5 is the sweet spot for the Giants in regards to drafting a potential tight end or drafting a potential running back. So in today's video, let's close it out with talking about some running backs that he mentioned as guys the Giants have their eyes on. Running back out of Notre Dame, Audric Estime is a very physical runner. I like the way that he plays. He's from New York, and at 5'11", 227 pounds, he runs hard. He runs through arm tackles. I also love that he's just 20 years old, and he was very, very productive. This is a late day 2, early day 3 guy, in my opinion, unless he just flies up draft boards. But he had 18 touchdowns and 1,341 yards. Jiminy crickets, that was terrible. Productive player. Love the size. Love the age. Giants are supposedly interested. My favorite running back in this class, though, is Marshawn Lloyd at a USC. His ability to make people miss is second to none in this class. His forced tackle miss rate, his yards after contact is electric. He is a home run hitter through and through, while also possessing quality size for the running back position at almost 5'9", 210 pounds. A little bit older at 23, but this is a guy that if he gets in open spaces, he's going the distance. Another absolute home run hitter is Jalen Wright, the former Tennessee Volunteer. Something about those Volunteers, man. They are fast, and they can put the pedal to the metal. I also love that he's just 21 years old. And Joe Schoen has kind of made it a theme as a general manager of this football team to draft players that are still young in regards to their other guys. This guy's a home run hitter. Probably my second favorite running back in this class. Electric. Yards per carry, one of the best in the business. Would love to have him on this team. He's a day 2 guy for me. Trey Benson, I know a lot of people are really big fans of him, and I like Benson. I'm just not as high as him on other guys. Some people have him as the #1 back in this class. I've got him in my top 5, probably closer to 5, but legit size, 6'1", 220 pounds. He's got the long speed. I think his giddy-up is a little bit slow. I think his lateral mobility is a little bit stiff. I didn't see much as a pass catcher. I think he has less than 30 catches in the last 2 years. Don't know if that's because they didn't ask him to do it or because he couldn't do it. He's going to run through arm tackles. If he has green grass, he can run away from people. But in my opinion, the thing that's best for him is NFL size, and he runs hard. So I would like him. Ray Davis, another one of the backs that I really, really love, but it pains me to say it. He's just too old. Just too old. He's 24 years old, and he's going to be 25 years old in his rookie season. But he runs hard, man. 5'10", 220, built like a brick shithouse. He's fast. I think he has some of the best vision in this class. 1 foot, cut and go, can make a move. I like him. I wish he was 20. But unfortunately, he's 25. So I don't know. Ben Sinnott. Let's go to tight ends now. Ben Sinnott, the tight end from Kansas State. He went on a top 30 visit for the New York Giants. He's kind of your H-back type of player. He could play with his hand in the dirt as your inline tight end. He could be the guy going in motion behind the line of scrimmage, and he could be someone that can line up in the backfield and be a lead blocker. The versatility is awesome. 6'4", 250 pounds, 21 years old. Top 30 visit, I'd keep your eyes on him. Jared Wiley, the tight end out of TCU, is another guy that I actually like. I think he's only going to get better and better, even though he is already 23 years old. Love the size, though. 6'7", 260 pounds, 47 grabs last year for the Horned Frogs, 520 yards. He had 8 touchdowns. At that size, he is a threat in the red zone. Giants were great in the red zone in 2022, not so much in 2023. Would love for Wiley to be a late pick for the Giants. One of my favorite tight ends, though, is Theo Johnson. Athletic freak, graded out in the 99th percentile amongst all tight ends at the NFL Draft Scouting Combine at 6'6", 260 pounds. He's going to put some pressure on the back half of defense, attacking the seam, being a vertical threat. Didn't have the most production at Penn State, and I think that's kind of a theme sometimes. These guys don't produce to what we think that they are, but I really like him. I had him in my most latest mock draft going to the Giants. He has been rising up draft boards. Maybe he's there in round 4, round 5. I'd like for him to be a Giant. This is a name that I didn't know much about, and that is Tip Riemann. I apologize if I am saying that incorrectly. But this guy, I like his physicality. I like the strength that he plays with. More of, in my opinion, a guy that's going to be a tight end 2 or a tight end 3. He's 6'5", 270. He is a good blocker, in my opinion, but he's a day 3 guy for me. Probably the least favorite of mine of the tight ends we showed, but Giants supposedly have interest in him, according to Jordan Renan. So we've talked about running backs. We've talked about tight ends. What is the bigger need for Big Blue in the draft? Is it running back or is it tight end? Darren Waller may retire. You're trying to fill the shoes that 26 left behind. Let me know. RB or tight end, bigger need. And thank you to everybody that has tuned in. This is the last video we're filming before we know who's going to be the pick for number 6. So anyone that has tuned in, liked the video, done anything during the draft process, I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you, and I'll see you tonight. Let's go Big Blue.